Hello, we're the Cooks, and this video is about our first ever long distance walking holiday walking the Ridgeway National Trail. We're complete beginners at this, so we booked our holiday through Max Adventures, who arranged all our accommodation and kindly arranged for our bags to be moved from each place every evening. Keep watching this video to find out how we got on. Being resident in Dorwin Manor also meant we got 20% off food and drink at the local pub. Cheers to that. Before heading out on the Ridgeway, we decided to explore the wider Avebury ritual landscape, starting with West Kennet Avenue. This avenue of pairs of standing stones runs for nearly 1.5 miles between the nearby sanctuary all the way into the Avebury Stone Circle. Then time to climb over the hill and approach the ever so impressive Silbury Hill. This 39 metre high mound is an incredible feat of construction, but nobody knows why it was actually built. West Kennet Long Barrow is a hugely atmospheric place. Built around 3650 BC, it was used for the burials of up to 50 people before it was blocked off using the huge sarsen stones that block its front entrance that you see today. The Ridgeway path winds its way all the way up to Barbury Castle. This is an impressive Iron Age hill fort. The ramparts are still clearly visible. It was used as a defensive position all the way through up to World War II, believe it or not. Its command over the surrounding landscape is clear to see. The route took us right through the middle of the hill fort and then onto the immensely beautiful Smith's Ridge with some outstanding vistas as we walked. After leaving Smith's Ridge, we descended into the very pretty village of Ogbourne St George. We arrived at the inn with the well just before the heavens opened. The inn with the well provides fine accommodation, good food and beer, and has a well actually within the restaurant. A low point on the trail is a section of road walking that you have to do to cross the M4 motorway. It's not far, but it's not pleasant. Waylands Smithy is the second of the chambered Neolithic long barrows you can visit on the trail. It's not as old as West Kennet, dating from 2800 BC, but it's set in a really pretty beech grove and has quite a cathedral-like atmosphere. It's immensely peaceful. And like West Kennet, you can explore the burial chambers, although these are not as extensive as West Kennet. A local legend has it that the Norse god Waylands Smithy made shoes for the nearby Overton White Horse at this site, and it's said that a traveller on the Ridgeway whose horse has lost a shoe can leave the horse by the tomb, put a coin on a stone, and then come back later and find the horse shod. Hey, that's a crazy thing. We soon dropped off the trail past some pretty thatched cottages and into the village of Woolstone, and to our accommodation for the evening, the appropriately named White Horse Inn, which provided some pretty luxurious lodgings for us for the evening and some fine food too. The weather forecast for the day was for rain and storms, so we headed out early to see the Ivinghoe White Horse before the weather closed in. At over 3,000 years old, the Ivinghoe White Horse is believed to be the oldest hillside chalk figure in the UK, and to this day nobody really understands how the Iron Age peoples that put the figure in place managed to get the dimensions and perspective so spot on without a bird's eye aerial view. And the horse and the Ridgeway path straddle either side of another Iron Age hill fort, Ivington Castle. Having explored Pretty Wantage and devoured some much needed coffee and pizza, we returned to Letcombe Regis, where we stayed in the 350-year-old quince cottage, where we were made most welcome by our hosts there for the night. As we descended off the ridge, we approached the lovely village of Streatley, where we stayed in the fine manor house, Chadleworth Manor, which provided some pretty luxurious accommodation for the night and a really warm welcome too. We dressed up, put on our glad rags, headed across the River Thames into Goring, where we treated ourselves to a really nice curry. Today's walking started very differently as we walked for about 5 miles up the eastern bank of the River Thames. In this section of the walk there were sights in every direction, be it really posh houses and people using the Thames for recreational purposes. Thought to mark the boundary between different Iron Age tribes, Grim's Ditch goes on for many miles. Redefining the meaning of the word godsend, the lovely parishioners of Nuffield Church provide free tea, coffee and cake for weary walkers. Of course you can say thank you by making a small donation to the church. After a long day's walking, we arrived in Watlington, our base for the evening, where we stayed at the Fat Fox Inn. Whilst the accommodation was basic and there were a few niggles, the breakfast was good. After a pleasant day walking, we arrived in Prince's Risborough. Max were unable to find us accommodation in Prince's Risborough, unfortunately, so after some shopping and a cheeky beer, we managed to get a taxi back to the Fat Fox in Watlington. We cabbed it back to Prince's Risborough, eager to make an early start as our guidebook said we had a tough day's walking ahead of us. Picturesque town of Wendover provided the perfect and timely opportunity to recharge our batteries with some tea and some lovely fine homemade cake. Soon after we crossed the busy A41, the end of the Ridgeway National Trail came into sight for the first time, Ivinghoe Beacon. We soon found ourselves in the picturesque village of Aldbury, where we were staying in the Greyhound Inn. This place served particularly fine food and beer, and we spent our evening planning tomorrow's ascent of Ivinghoe Beacon, where we would complete the Ridgeway National Trail. It was only 5 miles to the finish, but it was all uphill. Wow, what an experience, and it's been a perfectly different holiday. We both have a real sense of achievement. We've loved every step, every mile. It's been an amazing experience, and we've seen some fantastic sights, seen some amazing history, and had some real laughs and good times.